In a dystopian future, the world is under the constant onslaught of alien invaders, simply known as the Vec. Starring soldiers wielding the always exciting giant mechs fight against these aliens in the hopes of preventing the world's devastation. These soldiers also have the ability to jump through space and time to find other timelines in which they can try and save the planet. And yeah, that's pretty much the premise. Into the Breach by Subset Games is a tactical roguelike on Steam and the Nintendo Switch eShop. It's time to explain everything as quickly as possible. It's Fast Tactics. First, you pick your squad of 3. The first team is pretty basic, an artillery, a shooty guy, and a punchy guy. You pick an island to protect. Again, the first one is pretty basic. You talk to the government, and now you pick the missions in the different areas of the island. Okay, combat screen. This is what it's all about. Place your 3 mechs, but then the enemies get to move first. They make their move, but only declare their intended attack. Now it's the player's turn. The objective, protect the power grid. See, enemies aim for structures, not just the mechs. The power grid is the lifeblood of the Earth in each timeline. These pilots want to protect the timeline that'll lead to the right future. If the power grid is fully destroyed, this timeline is lost, but the game doesn't end. Pick a new squad, save one of your pilots from this run, and try again. Losing a mech only takes it out for the battle, but the pilot will die. Oh right, each mech has a pilot inside. These pilots gain experience whenever a Vec is killed. They can grant buffs to their mech, and they can even augment their mech's abilities. So you're incentivized to kill the Vec, but gosh darn, there's a lot of them. Mechs all have different attacks and abilities. Heck, they can even get tons of upgrades and new skills. They don't just do damage, they also push enemies and have other utilities like shields. Pushing can be used to deal bonus damage by knocking enemies into each other or obstacles, or get quick kills into pits or bodies of water. But sometimes things will get tough. Maybe you can't kill them all. Maybe you just push them out of the way of hitting anything, or maybe you make them aim at each other, or even body block incoming damage. You can heal one damage instead of attacking. Heck, sometimes you gotta shoot at your own dudes to push them. You get to do all your turn, moving and attacking, and then enemies follow through with their planned attacks. If they moved, their targets may have changed. Yeah, clown those guys. But watch out, enemies spawn every turn. A normal player would move his own guys onto these spaces, but a better player pushes enemies on top of them, since it deals 1 damage when they attempt to spawn after the enemy's attack. Add in level hazards and you got yourself a fun and puzzling tactical scenario. Trees can light on fire, air strikes, dust clouds, terraforming, technology, what is this? Every level can be handled in a variety of ways. There is a turn limit to each mission, so don't be afraid to let a few baddies leave. Luckily, even if you make a simple mistake moving, once per battle you can reset the turn to try something else. Be careful before you hit the attack button next time. But try as you will, sometimes there is such variety in the kinds of enemies, you're gonna have to take a hit, or you just mess up like I do, and you leave the entire world in ruin. Although the game, in theory, just keeps going through infinite and randomly generated levels in each timeline, losing pilots is sad, and there's nothing like getting to one of the later islands only to make a few too many mistakes! And that can happen sometimes too, and it's the cherry on the cake. Upgrading your mechs and leveling up your pilots is crazy rewarding. The farther you get into the game, the more options you have on your turn. Enemies start getting tons of health, and they really know how to position well, and limit your options. The bonus objectives that can happen in each level will give special rewards. Reactor cores help power up your mechs, you can gain reputation to spend on upgrades, but only on that specific island. And there's ways to fill your power grid back up. When you lose, you learn from your mistakes and you deploy right back out again. The missions are big enough to not feel cramped and make movement distance a more powerful stat, but it's not so big that it feels empty, and it builds these natural choke points. And don't forget the boss fights at the end of every island. Big dudes with big stats and lots of damage, but they can still be pushed. Their attacks usually go first, so they're perfect for taking out their own team. Whether you clear just 2 islands or all 4, you can take on the final challenge, which is a back-to-back marathon mission. It's challenging, to say the least, even though it only takes a few hours to finish a run. With a variety of units and even the opportunity to build custom teams, it's very easy to pick up and play and see how the timeline pans out. A quick and fun tactical game. Great sprite-based graphics, and it works even better on Switch since you can take it on the go. And for under $20, how can you go wrong? This has been Kevin for BeyondPolygons, and remember, tactical games are awesome. Thanks for watching.